Microsoft Dynamics AX is one of Microsoft's enterprise resource planning software products. It is part of the Microsoft Dynamics family. History: Microsoft Dynamics AX was originally developed as a collaboration between IBM and Danish Damgad Data as IBM Axapta. Axapta was initially released in March 1998 in the Danish and US markets. IBM returned all rights in the product to Damgad Data shortly after the release of version 1.5 before Damgad Data was merged with Navision Software AS in 2000. The combined company, initially Navision Damgad, later Navision AS, was acquired by Microsoft in July 2002. In September 2011, Microsoft announced the release of new version AX 2012. Today, it is available and supported in 25 countries and 23 languages. Development Centers: MDCC or Microsoft Development Center Copenhagen was once the primary development center for Dynamics AX. MDCC is located in Vedbeke and also houses Microsoft Dynamics NAV and several other Microsoft Dynamics family products. MDCC employs about 900 people of around 40 different nationalities. In addition to MDCC, AX development is now performed in 2 additional sites in Bellevue, Washington and Fargo, North Dakota. Features: Microsoft Dynamics AX contains 19 core modules: Traditional Core, General Ledger, composed of ledger, sales tax, currency and fixed assets. Features: Bank Management, where cash is received and paid out; Customer Relationship Management, where business relations are contacted and maintained; Accounts Receivable, where orders are entered, shipped and invoiced; Accounts Payable, where purchase orders are issued and goods received into inventory; Inventory Management, where inventory is valued and managed; Master Planning, where purchase and production planning takes place; Production, where bill of materials is defined and manufacturing is tracked; Product Builder, where product models are created and maintained; Human Resources, where employee information is kept; Project Accounting, where projects are created and tracked primarily from an accounting perspective; Basic, where data configuration is performed; Administration Module, where system configuration is performed; Procurement and Sourcing, Sales and Marketing. AX 2012 A3, Call Center, employees take orders over the phone and are able to create sales orders; General Ledger, the ability to transfer opening balances in balance sheet accounts to a new fiscal year; Inventory and Warehouse Management, compare item prices; Enhanced Posting Routine and a new inventory aging report; Master Planning, estimate future demand and create demand forecasts. Based on transaction history, Procurement and Sourcing, create your own solicitation request for RFQs, and more; Production Control, a new option to automate material reservations; Project Management and Accounting, new on-account billing rules and fee transactions that modify invoice proposal sales prices; Public Sector, now able to publish a request for quotation to the vendor portal and now have the ability to view details of closed RFQs; Retail, Commerce Data Exchange, updated retail server, new retail hardware station, and more; Sales and Marketing, register serial numbers during sales processes when preparing the packing slip or the sales order invoice. Transportation Management, plan transportation for inbound and outbound shipments, configure rating structures and view driver check-in and check-out history; Trade Allowance Management, define merchandising events, manage trade fund budgets, process customer payments, including deductions, and more; Warehouse Management, configure inbound and outbound intelligent workflows, use scanners' mobile devices to optimize precision in the picking and put-away processes, and more. For the full list of AX 2012 A3 features, click here. Extended Core, the following modules are part of the core of AX 2009 and available on a per-license basis in AX 4.0. Shop Floor Control, Cost Accounting, Balanced Scorecards, Service Management, Expense Management, Payroll Management, Environmental Management, External Components. Several external components are also available: Enterprise Portal for Dynamics AX, Microsoft SQL Reporting Services Integration, Microsoft SQL Analysis Services, Project Server Integration, Workflow, Application Integration Framework, a .NET Business Connector for third-party software, Microsoft Dynamics Mobile 1.5 development tools, Microsoft Project Client, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Office 365. Architecture. The Microsoft Dynamics AX software is composed of four major components: the database server, a database that stores the Microsoft Dynamics AX data; the file server, a folder containing the Microsoft Dynamics AX application files; the application object server, S, a service that controls all aspects of Microsoft Dynamics AX's operation; the client, S, the actual user interface into Microsoft Dynamics AX. See also the book Inside Microsoft Dynamics AX 4.0, MorphX and X++. Custom AX development and modification is done with its own IDE, MorphX, which resides in the same client application that a normal day-to-day user would access, thus allowing development to take place on any instance of the client. Since the Dynamics AX 2012 version, development can also be performed in Microsoft Visual Studio 2010 through a Visual Studio plugin. MorphX is an integrated development environment in Microsoft Dynamics AX that allows developers to graphically design data types, base enumerations, tables, queries, forms, menus and reports. In addition to design of application objects, it also allows access to any application code by launching the X++ code editor. Because MorphX uses referencing to link objects together, changes in, for example, data types of field names will automatically be reflected in all places where they are used. Furthermore, changes made through MorphX will be reflected in the application immediately after compilation. Microsoft Dynamics AX also offers support for version control systems integrated with the IDE, allowing collaboration in development. There is also a tool for reverse engineering table structures and class structures to Visio. The actual implementation limits the practical use of both these features. X++ itself is the programming language behind MorphX, and belongs to the curly brackets and operator class of programming languages. It is an object-oriented, class-based, single dispatch language. X++ is a derivative of C++ to which garbage collection and language-integrated SQL queries were added. Code samples: X++ integrates SQL queries into standard Java-style code. Following are three equivalent examples, though the first one has generally better performance. Samples number 2 and number 3 hint at an object-like behavior from table buffers. Sample number 1. Sample number 2. Sample number 3. Future. On its partner source website, Microsoft publishes a statement of direction for Dynamics AX that describes future development plans. It states that increased vertical market functionality, cloud computing, and HTML5 will be included in future versions of AX. Presence on the World Wide Web. One of the most notable sources of information with regards to Axapta was technet.navision.com, a proprietary web-based newsgroup, which grew to a considerable number of members and posts up until 2002. Following the incorporation of Axapta into Microsoft's Business Solutions Suite, the newsgroup's content was transferred over to the Microsoft Business Solutions newsgroup. The oldest Axapta TechNet post that can be found today dates back to August 2000. During the Axapta 3.0 era, this newsgroup in conjunction with secured official Microsoft websites accounted for most of the official documentation sources on Axapta. During this time freely accessible documentation remained scarce. Following Microsoft's release of Dynamics AX 4.0, Axapta's presence on the World Wide Web greatly improved through heightened interest from professional blogs as well as a continually improving presence on MSDN. Though MSDN contained mostly placeholders immediately following the release, it now contains a wealth of information from a complete SDK to white papers and code samples. Community. The AX community consists of professionals, typically employees of Dynamics partners, end users and MVPs. The Dynamics AX user group is the largest, user-led community for companies using the software. Events. AXUG Summit. AXUG Summit is held each fall and is an independent, user-led conference. Competitors. Aggresso and Coda Financials from Unit 4, J.D. Edwards and PeopleSoft from Oracle, SAP ERP from SAP AG, references. External links, Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 launch, Microsoft Dynamics AX official website, Microsoft Dynamics AX on MSDN, Microsoft Dynamics AX 2009, Microsoft Dynamics AX 4.0, Best Practices for Microsoft Dynamics AX Development. Microsoft Dynamics AX Community Information, Microsoft Dynamics AX Resources, Microsoft Dynamics AX Video Resources, Testing and Quality Assurance for Dynamics AX Customization, How to Squeeze More Life Out of Your AX 2009 Solution. Article Group. CEMBS archived from the original on July 8, 2014. Retrieved January 27, 2014. Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 A3 is here. New features in Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 A3.